Hey guys, this is Nick Johnston. You're watching Guitar Mania.
Great to see you.
Great to meet you.
Welcome to Vienna.
Thank you very much. I've always wanted to come here.
First time?
First time, yeah.
Okay, cool. And you played in Budapest last night, didn't
Played,
you? Or the day before,
yeah, 2
before?
days ago at the A38. We played on a boat. One of the best live experiences of my life. That was just magical.
Why?
It truly was. I mean, the atmosphere, the venue, the way the venue was run, the staff, the environment, the tour package, the city, the weather. We had a one of my weaknesses on tour is coffee, drinking a lot of coffee. So we actually had an open like barista bar in the basement, in the green room. I mean, that was awesome. Just like slamming coffees. I think I played really well, and it was filmed. We had a photographer doing some stuff. It was great. Just the whole thing.
Fantastic.
The band played great, so it's really good.
Which tracks of your discography are you playing live at this tour?
Yeah, the set has evolved a little bit. Right now we're doing Remarkably Human, a song called The Deepest Breath off of one of my earlier albums, and then Atomic Mind. And then I do usually, depending on the night, it depends on how much noise, in terms of like the actual venue, how much noise I'm picking up with my pickups. If it's too much, I don't do this like guitar solo thing but if it's nice and clean, I usually play like for a few minutes just like an unaccompanied guitar solo, like a guitar break. And then we go into a blues track called Black Eye, then we do a really fast one called Interlocked Dream on the Moon, and then we end with Hypergiant, which is off the new album. So it's a pretty interesting set. Like, it moves through a bunch of different genres and tempos, and for me it's a blast because it's a mixture of songs with backing tracks like piano, and then songs where it's just the trio, just guitar, bass, drums, backing track, trio, backing track. So it's like, it's a challenge every time, you know? You have to listen.
I can imagine. And how do you go about transposing or transferring the material from the records live? Has that been a challenge for you?
Not at all. It's been very, very easy. The music was written, in a sense, with that kind of live approach throughout it. Like, I knew at some point, especially the earlier stuff when I was actually doing this locally, like at home locally, I would usually do it as a trio. So when I was writing the material, it was like, okay, this is what I would be doing, that's what he'd be doing. And I love to improvise. I love to attempt to improvise anyways. So the melodies stay the same, but all the solos, all the stuff between the melodies, all the fills, I'm just doing something different every night. So that's not only easy to do, but it's like really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually look forward to whatever challenge it would be, you know. And if you have a band, you don't need the best players in the universe. You don't need crazy players. You just need consistent, I guess, eager musicians willing to try something new, or can listen, are positive about that approach, because that can be tough on people. Some people don't want to. I don't really want to try that, or I don't think that's good. We should rehearse more. It's like, let's just try it every night, something different. And yeah, it's been great. It's been very easy, very easy. Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about the approach to composition?
Sure. I don't know what it is. I haven't found it yet. I haven't found my formula, if you will. I kind of just play so much guitar. At some point, little seeds, little melodies, little ideas kind of start to happen, you know. Sometimes, well, if I'm touring, for example, I know I won't be able to write anything for the entire month. Or maybe I'll pick my guitar up at soundcheck, or warming up back here in this room or something, and I'll make do with the sound I have and come up with a little melody, but then that'll just sit on the shelf. I definitely can't write when I'm on the road. It's just not going to happen. So I know that's not part of the formula. Usually I have to be home for a stretch of time where I'm relatively comfortable, or in my space where I'm allowing myself to write music. It's
Cool.
pretty interesting. I don't think you ever figured it, and you don't really write your best music, hopefully, until you're much older and you've been in the industry long enough. Like my thing is like I hope I don't peak creatively at a young age. That's a death sentence. You know, you don't want that.
What's your approach to reaching out to your fans and to the audience?
Yeah, social media. Obviously, I mean, at this point, it's undeniable how important it is. But when I first started using it, you know, a number of years ago, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know how to take advantage of it. I just kind of at this point I look at it similar to how if I was a kid, I imagine myself 14 years old, 15 years old. My favorite guitar players were using social media. What would I want to see them post? And that's what I post. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I hate, I'm using this very lightly, I hope no one's offended, but I don't care as much anymore about social media. It's just too much extra stuff to take away the focus of what's important. Being a musician, playing guitar, writing music. I spend so much time emailing with either companies or, you know, booking things, booking flights, agents, promoters, taxes. I mean, it takes up so much time. And if I have to start worrying about like, oh, that post isn't doing it, it's not as important anymore. If something's going to get legs and grow, it's gonna get legs and it's gonna grow. Like, I'm not gonna actively find new angles to like try and get new fans. It's like at this point I have 4 albums out, everything's up online for free. I'm just gonna keep doing that, you know. And I post stuff that again, like I would want to see. Like I post myself just improvising at home, like here's what I'm working on, or I'm heading out on tour. Here's some practice from this morning. Like if I was a kid and saw, you know, like Paul Gilbert doing that, I'd watch the crap out of that. That'd be the coolest thing. So that and just kind of trying to keep in contact with the fans. Like if someone emails me, I answer them back. Little things like that makes a big difference for some people, you know.
Which raises the question: does Nick still practice?
Practice. I guess it depends on what you mean by like what that actually means.
What does it mean for you?
Yeah, yeah, of course I do. Absolutely. When I'm home, I play guitar. That's all I do. That's all I do is play guitar. I'm at home. I have no hobbies besides I like to read a lot. I usually read a book a week. I'm diabetic, so I'm very health conscious, and I run a lot, and I walk a lot, and I eat very specific food. But other than that, I mean, I'm playing guitar from the moment I'm awake to the moment I'm not awake.
Yeah, but there are different ways you can play guitar.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on
what. Or you can practice scales. I don't know.
No, I don't think those are different things at all. I think that's just playing guitar. It's all one. It's just the act of playing the instrument. I don't look at it and go, oh, I'm going to dedicate 2 hours to jamming. I'm going to dedicate 2 hours to composition. When I have a guitar in my hands, it's just guitar, you know, and whatever happens, happens. I never, in fact, maybe I am misquoting myself from a previous interview, but I've never really sat down and just worked on arpeggios at 120 BPM. Okay, faster, tick, 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 130, 140. I have no interest in that. I was so bad in school. My attention span was so short with things of that variety. It was the same with guitar. Like, it was never fun to do that. I just played so much guitar and played with other people. And ultimately breaking that kind of fear of playing in front of people led me to playing in front of people. And that's when I started to get better. I don't want to say good. I don't know my caliber of a musician. I don't care what my caliber of musicianship is. I just like to play so much guitar. And at some point, you will get better. And if you're not getting better, well, I don't know. That's your own fault.
Nick, we're very interested in interdisciplinary approaches and can grab everything we can get inspired by. You mentioned you're a great reader. What are 2 favorite books that you read recently? Two favorite books. I just read a book by a guy named Joe Abercrombie called The Blade Itself, which is a very cool kind of medieval fantasy kind of novel. Extremely gritty, like good imagery, good writing, good vibe. It's the first in a book. I think it's a trilogy. Right now I'm reading The Green Mile by Stephen King. I love Stephen King. I love his name is totally escaping me right. Brandon Sanderson. He's an American fantasy writer.
I love my favorite book of all time is 1984. I love that book. That book just makes me feel a certain way, and the vibe. And I remember putting that book down for the first time, and for weeks after I thought about it, just what it did to me was so intense. Actually, there's a bunch of records that have been written because of that book. One I can think of is Resistance by Muse. That whole album's like based on 1984. But I read like a book a week, so it's just I'll try stuff and like, that was okay. I'll try that. It's a good way for me just to stay focused, especially on tour. You can lose focus, you can get bored, you can lose your mind, and everything. Just trying 150, 200 pages a day, just trying to get through it.
You've been. You know. How long have you been on tour now? You're not at each other's throats yet.
No, it's with a lot of these tours. It's all friends. We're all buddies. I've known these guys for a long time. I've gotten very lucky with the tours I've been on. We're all friends. Like we knew going into this, we're friends, and I get away from everybody as much as I can. When the bus rolls up to the venue in the morning, I'm gone. I've disappeared. I'm in the city. I'm drinking coffee. I'm looking for used bookstores. I'm looking for music stores, record shops. I'm looking at clothing. I'm looking at whatever. I get away from it. By the time I come back, hey, it's good to see you guys. You know, and it keeps it healthy. You know? So.
Would you have some words of wisdom for our readers?
I can sure try. Yeah, like upcoming guitar players. I think because going back to social media, and keep in mind I'm just saying stuff here. Maybe I'll regret what I'm saying, but I think the biggest problem with social media is everybody thinks they have to be doing something now, right now. I gotta get on there. I gotta get likes. I gotta get followers. Blah, 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 blah. Almost to a point where if you're not always checking your phone and looking, then you're not doing enough. I think the most important thing for a young guitar player is to wait until you have something to say. Wait, being self-aware. Like, should I put this out now? I want to get an album and I want to tour. Totally fine. But do you have something to say? Are you going to be the musician you need to be yet? I waited to do anything until I was 25 because I just didn't think I had anything worth saying. And when I put my first album out, I didn't know how to promote it, but at least I knew I had an honest piece of a body of work that came truly from in here. Didn't sound like anybody else. Maybe did a little bit, I don't know. But I wasn't like, I'm gonna make this record, put it on social media just so I can start like getting likes and follows. And also just your playing, like, is it where it needs to be? Have you heard enough music? Have you played with enough people? Are you mentally ready for this career? That is such a big part of it. Can you handle what's about to happen next? A lot of people can't. And
but how do you know what is going to happen?
You will know. I honestly think you're equipped mentally with the tools, and if you're gonna if you have a career or had a career similar to me, it's very slow, and you learn pretty quick, you know. And also just have fun. Like, try and enjoy it. It's so easy to get wrapped up in your phone and in your email. Just every cool thing that happens, just wow, I never thought this would happen. Like, I remember when I got offered a signature guitar. I mean, it took so long for that to sink in, and like, I just remember the train keeps going by. I just remember like how grateful and how like precious that moment was, and how long it took to get there. And sometimes it happens for people, sometimes it doesn't. It happened to me, and it's just like, I can't believe it happened. Also, one final thing before I have to go on stage in 2 minutes is stay humble. Stay humble. You're just playing guitar. You're not curing cancer. Thanks, man.